Hey YouTube, 85cc Master. This is going to be kx125 update number 2. Previous video, y'all saw how I went and took it to DNA MX track in Saluda, South Carolina. It wasn't very enjoyable because the bike was still running too rich. It was super dusty, track was garbage, and almost had a heat stroke. So brought it back home, decided, alright, I gotta fix the jetting. And I gotta fix my front brake rotor. So turns out front wheel assembly is actually from a YZ. I determined that because this has a, you can see how it's got like a ridge right here, as where this back one does not. And the front rotor that I ordered for the actual KX didn't fit because this hub right here has 6 rotor bolt holes going around it, whereas the KX has 4. So I looked at the rotor, I was like, yeah, this definitely is not gonna work. So I sent it back, went on bikebandit.com, looked at the bolt patterns for the Honda, Kawasaki, and Suzuki 125 252 strokes. I narrowed it down to the Suzuki and the Yamaha, and I looked at the way the hub looks right here. This matched up with the YZ. The RM, it had a little different design right here, where this machine part is right here. So I said, alright, it's a YZ front wheel assembly. Ordered the rotor for the YZ 125 250. Got in, it bolted up perfect, put new pads on the front. I gotta break them in, but I got the new rotor on. The Nimwit that owned the bike before me obviously did not powder coat the rims, spray painted them. So eventually I'll have the silver rims again once all this black crappy spray paint wears off. The rear wheel is holding up a little bit better somehow. The jetting, took the carb apart, found out that stock jetting is a main jet of 160 and a pilot jet of 40, 45, excuse me. So I took the carb apart, it had a 165 main jet and it still had the stock 45 pilot jet in it. So I went on Pro Circuit's website, they got a jetting chart that you can look at, and looked at this bike. It said 158 for the main jet and a 40 for the pilot jet. So I went to my local shop, Ridge Motorsports in Batesburg. They're awesome, and he hooked me up there with a 158 main jet, and he didn't have a 40 pilot jet, so I just kept my 45 pilot jet. So took the too big 165 main jet out. That's why I was running too rich and loading up on gas constantly. Put the 158 in there, test rode it, and it probably gained a few horsepower. It runs so much better, doesn't smoke constantly like a freight train, doesn't load up on fuel, it runs perfectly now. So that fixed that. Definitely need to rebuild the front forks because they are leaking, and the rear shock also needs to be rebuilt. After I get those two rebuilt, I believe I'll have the bike completed, besides like miscellaneous things like new handbar grips. I mean, that's really it, besides the crappy rims being painted. I might could get some new rims, maybe. But other than that, I'll have the bike completed once I get the suspension rebuilt. Believe that's it on this update, so stay tuned for a helmet cam video of this bike. This has been 85cc Master. Y'all have a good one.